Speaking at a media event at UFC 275, Glover Teixeira expressed that he believes Israel Adesanya would avoid a potential fight with Alex Pereira. The UFC light heavyweight champion said this: Adesanya fought him in kickboxing gloves. He knows how hard Pereira hits. And with MMA gloves, he's like, who knows? I don't know if he's going to take that fight that easy, you know? I think he's going to have a conversation with Dana White trying to get away from that fight. Ooh, what are your thoughts? Do you think that Israel is going to avoid this fight, or do you think he's going to take it to prove everyone that he's the best in the world? Let me know in the comments down below. The ongoing saga between Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov continues as Ferguson issued a rather unique challenge to Nurmagomedov. The California fighter proposed that a potential tough season with him and Khabib as coaches should feature a pie eating contest. Ferguson tweeted if Khabib is willing to take up the challenge, the former UFC light heavyweight champion's unblemished record of 29 straight wins without a defeat would change to 29-1. He wrote on Twitter, "Hey Khabib, you done with your roll tour yet? About time you man up and faced a real coach's challenge. How about a pie eating contest, fatty? Num 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 num. Tough times, time to make some real noise, buddy. Foo foo, 29-1. And then Khabib responded with, at Tony Ferguson, I'm waiting for you to wake up. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. Dana White recently stated that Khamzat Chimaev and Nate Diaz could happen. There were rumors about Diaz and Chimaev could square off at UFC 276 after a leaked image from the UFC matchmaking room surfaced online. However, there's no official word from the organization. White dismissed the chances of the fight happening at the July pay-per-view, but admitted that it's an interesting proposition to see the two collide. While speaking to TMZ in a recent interview, the UFC president said this: "That's a fun fight. You got Khamzat ranked number 3 in the world. Him and Diaz will be fun. Leon's next for Usman. Colby and Khamzat will be fun. We'll see how this plays out." Dana White has been asked questions regarding Conor McGregor's return ever since the Irishman broke his leg at UFC 264. In a recent interview with TMZ Sports, Dana White finally took the name of Michael Chandler as a potential opponent for Conor.
I know when they initially were going back and forth years ago, you said Masvidal and Conor didn't make sense because he's so much smaller. Conor's a pretty big boy these days. Does that appeal to you? I mean, that could be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, fights you can make.
No, I really like Chandler versus Conor after Chandler's last fight. There's plenty of fights to make. I don't know if that's the one, but we'll see what the landscape looks like when Conor comes back.
It's interesting to bring up Michael Chandler, what he's done coming from out of the organization, and his losses were epic fights. So that's a fight that you could see making next for Conor, perhaps, Michael Chandler?
I'm just saying, after his last interview, his last fight, Conor's ranked number 8. He's ranked number 5. It makes a lot of sense right now.
Former middleweight champion Luke Rockhold has slammed the UFC for still living in the past when it comes to fighter pay. Rockhold is frustrated by the fact that the company is now worth billions, yet fighters' bonus checks have remained at $50,000. The 37-year-old has called for the rest of the fighters to wake up and improve the situation. Speaking to MMA Fighting's YouTube channel, Rockhold was angered that the UFC hasn't improved its payments to fighters despite being worth significantly more now than it was when he first signed to the organization.
What?
Hey,
what?
I love soccer Alba, but he's had one fight in the UFC.
What the fuck are we doing here? Fucking $50,000 bonuses going on for like fucking 2 decades? Like, what the fuck? The valuation of the company is going up fucking billions of dollars, and we're still stuck on $50,000 bonus checks? What the fuck is this? I mean, how many billions have we gone up in valuation since that fight? And we've gone back, retracted back, and they're just fucking us on pay. People need to shut the fuck up about getting, bonus $50,000. It's becoming a thing. It need to be like fucking 100,000. Let's get 200. Oh yeah.
Chael Sonnen came to the defense of Herb Dean and says it's a good thing that MMA judges and referees aren't very accessible to the press.
So it's important that you know that. And I couldn't imagine being in Herb's spot or any of the other officials where you can't speak up, but I have heard referees break that rule. I have seen judges break that rule, even if it was in something as small as the underground forum. You then quickly don't hear of that judge again. They quickly and quietly disappear. They quit getting assignments. It's a big deal.
Israel Adesanya recently rated UFC 275 in terms of how stacked the card is. The last stylebender gave the card a ranking of 7 on the stack meter.
Card stack meter. Let's see. So far, the first fight for me, Jack Della. Yes. I like seeing him fight. Slick. He's slick with it. Stack meter, I would give it 7.
Yeah, what kind of rhetoric we're supposed to be on that count?
It'll still be in the 7.
John Jones and Daniel Cormier aren't likely to ever bury the hatchet. Their rivalry remains as one of the most storied ones in the UFC history, and even years after fighting each other inside the cage, both men still don't see eye to eye. According to DC, the bad blood between him and Bones is never going to fade.
I don't like Jones. Hey, but you can fight. You know?
Is any of that faded?
Not necessarily. Kind of. Listen, there's just like it sounds bitter, but like he did a lot of damage to my career, right? And that's not fair. So it's never gonna fade.
Sean O'Malley believes that Domnick Cruz will get the better of Marlon Chito Vera in a fight. On the latest episode of the Bro Malley Show, Sean O'Malley said this.
Initial thoughts on it? I said when Jose fought Chito, I said I think Jose wins that fight. When Chito fought Frankie, I think Chito wins that fight. Chito fought Rob, I said Chito wins that fight. Chito versus Dom, I think Dom wins.
You do?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a 5-rounder. Does that influence you at all?
5-rounder. Dom's always been, known for pretty good gas tank. I just think Dom's gonna be a little bit too fast, and just a little bit better than Chito. But with that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if Chito won. But I do think Dom's gonna take that.